Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Channel Dupree met Clint Rawlings, who was the acting mayor following the departure of aide Carver, James Reynolds. Clint went up to Channel's Sweets stand in the town square and told her he didn't like the way she was reopening Sweet Bits. Clint threatened to shut down Channel for good if there were any more controversies, as he and Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, had only brought trouble to Salem. Since Steve had recently lost another close friend, Jada Hunter Elia Cantu visited him at his home to express her condolences. Despite doing all in their power to locate Abe, Jada and the police department still felt as though they had failed him. In the following scene from Wednesday's Days episode, Victoria Grace's Wendy Shin begged Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, for some solitude with Johnny DeMera, Carson Boatman, but she also promised to text him. Trip moped later at Steve's flat since he thought Wendy was picking Johnny. But because he cared so much about Wendy, Steve thought Trip was giving up too easy and ordered him back to defend her. Johnny suspected the same thing when he was back at Wendy's house, but Wendy clarified that this was never about making him fight for her affection. Wendy needed to determine what she needed and wanted in a companion. In the end, Wendy acknowledged that one of the reasons she had selected Trip was because Johnny had always had the desire to defend Channel Dupree, Raven Bowens. The other factor was the intensification of Wendy's feelings for Trip. Wendy wished Johnny and Channel might reconcile, but he adamantly stated he preferred Wendy to Channel. Johnny pondered how he could persuade Wendy of that, but all she did was give him a cheek kiss and bid him farewell. On Wednesday's DOO episode, Channel answered a call from Allie Horton, Lindsay Arnold, and confirmed that she had received the flowers Allie had sent as a result of Abe. Allie was reassured that Channel's only goal in life was to see her happy when Channel revealed that she had heard Allie was seeing someone. Prior to Johnny's gloomy arrival, Channel admitted that she was not seeing anyone new. After Channel ended her meeting with Allie, she went to talk to Johnny and found out that he had just been dumped. Trip was shocked to learn that Johnny had left when he got home. Trip figured Johnny would want to make a big deal out of being Wendy's lover, but she insisted it wasn't his. Wendy stated that she needed some alone time with Johnny so that she could explain Trip's selection to him, who was now perplexed. Trip drew Wendy into a joyful kiss as she reaffirmed that he was the man she desired to be with. On Wednesday's Days episode, Kate Roberts Brady, Lauren Koslow, discussed her strategy for getting rid of Megan DeMera, Miranda Wilson, with Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, at the bar. Kate acknowledged that her initial plan entailed hitting Megan, but she wanted Kayla to keep Roman Brady, Josh Taylor, in the dark because she felt bad that things had gone wrong for Harris. Kate made fun of Kayla over her new lethal side after Kayla claimed that Roman would comprehend Kate's impulse and then feigned agreement. After that, Steve and Kayla exchanged information about their earlier discussions with Kate and Jada at their apartment. Steve also said that he gave Trip relationship counsel and seemed to be an expert on matters of the heart. On Wednesday's Days episode, Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, told Harris at the hospital that he was totally free of Megan's grip and that committing him to Bayview was unnecessary. Harris believed he should be imprisoned until he was assured Megan and Dr. Wilhelm Rolfe, Richard Wharton, couldn't tamper with his head once more. Marlena persisted in trying to object, but Harris believed that he needed to survive and give his mind time to recover. Harris claimed that if he committed himself, he could check himself out after Marlena brought up that he could do so. Harris insisted Marlena follow his instructions once again since he didn't want that option. Harris received a sedative from Megan, who later agreed to have him admitted to Bayview because it was such a significant matter to him. When Kate arrived to express her regret over her plan going so disastrously, Harris said he didn't hold her responsible because his own plan had failed. Kate was shocked to learn of Harris' plans for Bayview. At the Salem Police Department, Sean Brady, Brandon Beamer, was furious that Rafe Hernandez, Galen During, had fired him after discovering that Rafe had been having an affair with a subordinate. After stating that he had first-hand knowledge, Sean recalled overhearing Jada confess to Kate at the bar. Despite seeming as though he could use the information to harm Rafe and Jada, Sean later acknowledged he wouldn't be spiteful. The acting mayor had a chance to overhear Sean's promise to keep his remarks about Rafe having a relationship with Detective Hunter to himself. Clint argued that this was a grave accusation, and after talking to Jada by himself, he got her to confirm it. Rafe cautioned Clint not to suspend Jada, but Clint insisted he wasn't doing that to any of them. Clint informed Rafe that he was fired because, as acting mayor, he had the authority to hire or dismiss the police commissioner. Sean sought Marlena's assistance again at the hospital after informing her that he had been suspended from the force in order to avoid complicating his already difficult situation. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Marlena will try her best to put Sean's life back on track. Spoilers for Wednesday, July 12th episode of Days of Our Lives, DOOL, indicate that Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, won't feel like he belongs in the streets right now. Harris evidently still sees himself as a threat, despite his lack of desire to kill Stefan Demira, Brandon Barash, or hurt anybody else. On Wednesday's DOL episode, Harris will outline his reasoning in the hopes that Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, who pushed Harris to be committed to Bayview, will agree. Day's spoilers indicate that Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace, will reveal a decision she's already made while Marlena considers her options. Wendy might have known what she wanted to do, even if it was only in her subconscious, Lee Shin, Remington Hoffman, suggested. Since she cares about both Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, and Johnny Demura, Carson Boatman, Wendy hasn't been ready to let them go, but there is one man she thinks would be a better fit for her. Days reveals which man Wendy wants to date, and based on the upcoming episode's depictions of Johnny whining over being dumped, it appears that Wendy will choose Trip. Trip will visit Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, later, so his son might wish to tell him the good news. Steve is likely feeling fairly stuck when it comes to the Abe Carver, James Reynolds probe, so he would likely appreciate some encouraging developments. Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, will also be dropping by, so Steve will greet her and possibly talk to John Black, Drake Hodgeston, about the Abe hints he's been thinking about. Day's spoilers indicate that Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gearing, who will complain vociferously about Sean Brady's, Brandon Beamer, drinking on the job and justify his decision to suspend him from the department, will do so in the police station. Sadly, Sean will also get quite vocal when he claims Rafe had an affair with one of his subordinates. There will still be issues even if Jada's name is not used. Since Clint Rawlings, Grayson Berry, is acting as mayor in place of Abe, it appears that he will arrive to the Salem Police Department just as Rafe and Sean are making allegations. Watch to see whether Clint fires Sean or Rafe. They might both lose their jobs. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate that Channel Dupree, Raven Bowens, will also find Clint in a fairly tense situation.